Our next guest is a Golden Globe and Emmy-nominated actor you know from shows like Chernobyl, Mad Men, The Terror, and The Crown. He currently stars in Foundation. The season finale streams November 19th on Apple TV+. Let's take a look.
The two emerging powers of the Outer Reach united in marriage.
Are you gonna teach us our own history now, dead man?
Huh?
The Thespin dog slit her throat on their wedding bed.
So the legend goes.
Are you suggesting our history's wrong?
History is written by the victor, and neither of you seem to be winning.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Jared Harris. Jared, welcome back.
Is it too soon? Is it all right to occupy the chair once occupied by
the sexiest man alive?
Is it all right?
I think
Hang
so.
on,
I mean,
hang
it's
on.
very rare to sit in the sexiest, be the next person to sit in the sexiest
I
man's
know.
seat.
I'm getting something. I'm getting something.
We can see, by the way, we can see it working.
Thank you, Paul.
It's so lovely to see you, as always. So this is you play a psycho historian in this film. There's not a role you can't play, but when they presented you psycho historian, did you think, this is what I've been waiting for?
What the hell does that mean? Yeah.
It's based on a famous science fiction book.
Yeah, several books by Isaac Asimov, which were the kind of uber text for a lot of science fiction that followed afterwards, like Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars and stuff like that,
You have tended to be in some darker material. You were here talking about Chernobyl, which, if you don't know the story, a little dark.
Yes.
The Terror, which I banged the drum for The Terror, a limited series on AMC, which if people haven't seen, I go back and watch The Terror, timeless. And this, though, it's both, things are going well, but you are a little bit more optimistic than maybe we've seen you in previous things.
Yes. Well, actually, the character I play is he's come up with a predictive model for the future. And although the future he predicts is not one that the Galactic Empire likes, he sees that there is a way towards a positive ending, but it's going to take 1,000 years to get there.
We've also talked about the fact that your characters often die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has happened to you again in this show.
Yeah, it means you keep having looking for a new job.
Yeah. Your agent's always like, he's not available now, but he might be soon.
Pretty soon, yeah.
But you are, we see you there, I believe we see you post-death there, because this is a good one for you, because you die and you get to come back.
Yeah, it's 25,000 years in the future, so all the ideas that we're playing with now about being able to download your consciousness and everything like that, that's all taken as a given in that world.
Which is nice, because then, you get to keep doing the work,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I like that. I mean, there's the whole tactile feeling of being alive and everything. I think I'm kind of rooted to that,
Yeah. You like the touch part of it, but
Yeah, touch, taste, feel,
Not for me.
No? Yeah?
I just like being able to tell people what I'm thinking. You just bring me back and let me go. What about...
There's a part for you, then.
Do you ever think, like, hey, what is something I could do where, Jared Harris could play somebody that would maybe make it to the end of the thing? Like a rom-com, a musical?
In fact, I just did a movie with my brother, Damien, who's a director, and my younger brother as well, who's an actor. The three of us were in it together, and I make it to the end of that story.
You do?
Yeah.
So that's very sweet. I guess... to some degree, it takes working with family to understand.
Basically, yeah. People who want to keep you around, right.
What were your early, like when you started a little bit later, I guess, in this field, and what were your early auditioning stories like?
Actually, I do remember a story where I auditioned for Mel Gibson's Hamlet. And we went down to the studio to do a screen test. We all had to get on a train to get there. And when we get there, there's a car to pick us up. And I'm about a year out of drama school, and quite coincidentally, two of my classmates from drama school are there. They're auditioning for Laertes, a good part.
Yeah.
Right? I'm auditioning for a part that has no lines. Right? So they've given me Horatio to read. We get into the car that's going to take us there. The driver pulls out a clipboard and he goes, I have to make sure I've got everybody here. And he looks at the clipboard and he goes, Jason Isaacs, reading Laertes. Okay, James Purefoy, reading Laertes as well. Ooh, I better split you apart. And he goes, Jared Harris, reading Horatio, although he cannot be cast in this part.
That's what a terrible thing to hear in front of your friends.
Right in front of my mates, and I've been lying to them, going, oh, I'm up for Horatio, I'm up for Horatio.
What do you've been on the other side, you've directed as well. Yeah. And so you've auditioned actors. What's some advice you would give to young actors who think that there's something, I don't know, to the interactions you have before you actually start doing the work?
I think, well, first of all, see, when you go into audition, the first thing they want to find out is, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Because no one wants to hire crazy.
Right.
So basically, they sort of chat to you a bit. Don't talk too much. That's what I think, because what I watched was, I'd watch people who would chat, and then they would go, oh, I know somebody that you know, to the showrunner or the director. But you don't really know what that person thinks of that person. And quite often what would happen is they would say something about, oh, we know someone in common. And when they went out of the room, they go, God, I can't stand that person. And now all they remember is that you're connected to that person.
Yeah.
So say as little as possible.
Say as little as possible.
Get to the audition part as quick as you can. That's my advice.
You obviously take the craft very seriously, so much so, explain to us all why you broke into a zoo after hours.
You know, decisions that you make late at night after too many pints of beer. Yeah.
If it ends in a zoo, it's a bad decision. Yeah. I think it might be more like not just a couple pints.
No, it was several. I was at drama school and we were graduating, and one of the things that you have to do in drama school in I think the second year is you do animal study. So you go every week to the zoo, you study an animal, then you come back to the class and then you try and mimic the animal and your observations of the animal. And at the end of the term, you have Zoo Day, where everybody in the school and the teachers come, and you're in the gymnasium and everyone is there doing their animals, so it's like they're visiting the zoo, right? So the one that I did was a gorilla. Yeah. And I felt like I'd bonded with this gorilla. And we were saying goodbye to all of our friends and everything, and I thought we should go and say goodbye to our animals who we'd bonded with. And so, yeah, we went to the zoo, broke into the zoo. And
how happy was the gorilla to see you?
Well, they were asleep.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They went around. We couldn't find them. Although at one point the guy I was with decided to bullfight, if you like, with a mountain goat who aren't fooled by the coat. You know?
Yeah.
They're not fooled by that. They go straight for you.
Right. Yeah, it's a mistake to think just because a bull is fooled. Yeah. Two very different animals.
Completely. And their horns.
Well, we all do appreciate how seriously you took it. And by the way, the results show.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for being here. Congrats on the show. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you again.
Jared Harris, everybody. The season finale of Foundation streams November 19th on Apple TV+.